3, 2, we're live.
Hey folks, if it's noisy out there, it's because it's supposed to be. It's a party. People are starting to show up everywhere. Oh, we got an extra. We got a pooch already in the house.
We got two up there.
Oh, we have pooches coming in.
Yipping and barking.
You know, no yipping and barking. This is yippee
and yappy. All right, Ken Gaddis is in the house.
Ken Gaddis is here. We've got balloons. Folks, where are we at?
We're at Sycamore Crossing Friday morning.
Oh, that was your chance. No.
Where are we at?
You want to try it?
No.
You don't want to try it. You don't want to try it. Folks, we're at Sycamore Crossing, downtown Blue Ridge. We've got Broken Bull, New Blue Home and Gift, Kinty, the Peruvian store, and Tupelo Tea is there. Now you want to get involved?
Tupelo Tea.
I was there. Did you think I'd forget? No. Okay.
Hey, you know, we got a song this morning we could do.
Wait a minute. And we're in downtown Blue Ridge. It's a party. Come on down. I'm telling you, we have apples. We have some apple butter. We have Team FYN Sports, Director of Sports. Jason Banks is going to be with us in a minute. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on tonight around high school football. You hear the yipping?
Yes.
The yipping and the yapping.
And
apple cider and the beer truck's gone.
Beer truck.
How good a day is it?
So far.
Okay, would you like to get it? This is Rick and this is Bruce. If you haven't met him, would you like to get into your song?
No, I just said, you know, maybe we could do the little. Remember the old Bobby Vinton song, "Sealed with a Kiss"? It starts off, "Though we gotta say goodbye for the summer." And then we're heading over to Ken.
Richie, get a picture of us, okay? We want to document this day.
Yeah,
folks, I'm feeling great. This is our last. We're calling it summer. We know we're last week was summer and the whole thing, but September ends our outdoor. A lot of people have looked at me and said, "Can't you do October here?" It's just a chance,
Yeah.
And Sam and Rose sit over there and shiver and need a jacket and everything. So we're going over to Blue Jeans, and as you know, we'll have to deal with the smell of pizza.
breakfast pizza.
Breakfast pizza. I think we should have a party next week. You think so?
I think we should do this every weekend.
This is what Friday should be.
That's
right?
it, Friday. Yeah.
The plaza here, we'll call it the plaza. Where it's really getting busy. You are welcome to come down and join us.
Rolling Thunder.
We have a lot of things going on this morning. Candidates.
The bets.
Ken Gaddis is going to step in here for a minute. We got
Rolling Thunder coming through.
Motorcycles. Small town America, folks. Visit us in Blue Ridge.
In the mountains.
Bruce, Rick, BKP. We attended last night. We were talking about the Blue Ridge City Council and the mayor candidate forum last night at the Performing Arts Center over here at the high school. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the Fannin County Chamber. They did a great job.
They did.
They did a good job.
It was well orchestrated.
I thought the questions were balanced. There was no direct candidate a certain question went to, and I don't think they ever intended it, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were a little slow in the fishbowl. They kind of lost some time in the fishbowl.
A little slow in the fishbowl.
So what are you giving them, a 97?
Yes.
Okay, 97. Okay, we'll go. Sorry, Chamber. You got 97, but that's good. That plays well here. So
What a beautiful building, too, by the way. That's the first time I've been in there.
Never been in the
No, I have not.
Huh?
Cindy had, my wife has, but I have not. And she was right. I mean, It
really is. It's a great location. Yeah. We can have a lot of events. We do all the time there. Okay, candidates. First of all, we have Jane Whaley and Harold Herndon. That was the first up. Mr. Herndon did not show up. He did not attend.
3 no-shows last night.
We're getting to that. Oh. First, stay focused. I'm the one telling somebody to stay focused. First, we had Jane Whaley and Harold Herndon. Harold Herndon's the incumbent. He did not show up last night for whatever reason. How do you think Jane's comments? What do you think of what she had to say? It's Jane Whaley.
For someone to go up first, I mean, it's like on Monday morning when you're supposed to be there with your speech for your 3rd grade class. I don't want to go first.
I agree with you.
It was tough.
I think that. Do you agree?
Yeah, she did very well.
She did.
She was articulate. I think she spoke from the heart, and I think she did very well.
What I look for when every candidate gets up, I look for being authentic. And I love the city. I want to serve you, and I just walk away with that. I love the city, and I want to serve you. I mean, that can box it up for me. But you're right. I want to go first. That was. I want to go first was really, really. I mean, going first breaking the ice.
That's
and
tough.
Then the other candidates are out there saying, "Oh, okay, I feel better now that they've gone." So, Jane Whaley, a candidate against Harold Herndon, a no-show, did her questions and her opening and closing. Everything we're talking about, folks, this morning, you can find on FetchYourNews.com's Facebook page. We were live last night. You can find it on our YouTube channel, and we'll have it posted on Fetch Your News under the politics section. Now, second up, I'm pretty sure second was Angelina Powell
And Rhonda Thomas.
So what do you think on those two right there?
Rhonda, again, an incumbent. I mean, she knows
She knows the ropes.
the byways, the channels, and knows like all the council speak. Angelina Powell, I think, was just sort of a little nervous. I think some of her answers were a little bit mimicking what she heard from Rhonda going before her. So I wasn't that impressed with her.
And you?
Well, I mean, like Bruce said, it's when you haven't run for public office, and even though she served on, I think it was the zoning commission.
Right.
Yeah,
Variance.
The variance commission. She, Rhonda's been around for 8 years, and she knows the ropes. Like Bruce said, she knows the ins and outs.
I tell you what caught me off, and this is not an approval.
An indictment?
No, this is not an approval of it. It's up to the voters. And I did like how Rhonda Thomas, council member Rhonda Thomas, is the incumbent, understood the question. I'm not trying to be negative. Understood the question, understood what was asked, and understood it was up to the voters. But I was a little caught off guard that it stumped Angelina Powell. She didn't know what a package store is.
Yeah.
I was a little caught off guard.
Maybe she's a teetotaler. Maybe.
Well, I mean, I don't know that, but I was a little caught off guard that she didn't know, what a package store is. And the other thing concerning that is whether you approve or not, Ms. Thomas knew that
The procedure.
the procedure, the citizens, the
Yeah.
vote. But I will say this, and it's nothing negative because it's where I get my cigars, so I want to be careful. I don't want, don't want to lose that frequent, not flyer, buyer. I'm a frequent buyer discount down at the package store of my cheap cigars.
Good old Big Jim.
Mr.
Big
Jim.
old Jim. But the thing is everybody, when I say everybody, almost every single body that's coming to Blue Ridge or this area for the weekend or a cabin or whatever, they're making a stop 15 miles south.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
Rhonda nailed that.
They're
Like
making
there's
a
revenue
stop.
that's not coming.
Oh
there.
my God, there's an enormous amount. They are raking it. I hate to say it like that. Those are friends of mine that own the store down there. I know them, good people. But hey, it's not their fault that Blue Ridge said no.
Yeah.
And they are raking it. You
And
understand what I'm saying?
and to her credit, I mean, she focused on the tax
Right.
revenue loss.
And she didn't say
As
it was up to
opposed to,
her
hey, we
to
need-
agree
we
or
need-
disagree. It was up
Right.
to the citizens.
Right.
Yeah.
She said, however,
Right.
we are leaving change on
But
the
that
table.
that is probably the biggest takeaway for me is that Angelina Powell did not understand package store. It left me a little confused on like what other issues would, I guess, perplex or whatever.
I think she just would be slow on the learning curve, picking up, infrastructure, sewage,
Right.
all those issues, parking.
Let's go to the next one. Last night we had incumbent Angie Arp, the incumbent Miss Arp, and we had Kenneth Gaddis. Kenneth Gaddis is her opponent. What say you?
Everybody knows Ken this morning. Ken did a good job. He, he came out and told it like it was. I got a beautiful family. He focused on the kids, which I thought was good. He went to the infrastructure, and he went to the same ones that everybody else hits. But I thought it was a really nice touch that he brought the youth in, and let's get them involved because this is the future. We can't leave
Absolutely.
a legacy, a ghost legacy. There's nobody there.
Well,
Yeah, if you don't
Let's see.
prepare the groundwork for the kids of today, young adults and adults of tomorrow to come in and step into our shoes, then you're not doing your job. So I think he was spot on with that approach.
there was 2 or 3 takeaways last night, but I'm gonna give you 2 big highlights that really that I was able to go home and just he drilled down into something, a couple things that were just takeaway points that I don't know how you argue with. Now, we talk infrastructure, you know, and we talk infrastructure, and no disrespect, you know, sometimes when somebody says infrastructure, we just all take for granted everybody understands every moving part of that and what it is and everything, and I'm not being negative, okay? But this city, we keep hearing that this city's 100-year-old plus infrastructure, clay pipe from all the above. Terracotta pipe, right? We have to do something, right? Mm-hmm. But he made it to where everybody understood it, very clear. And I mean, I can almost quote it. He said, what happens one weekend when we have a major storm, and we all know about the flooding in this city, okay? What happens one weekend we have a major storm, and we've got 4,000 people in the
Or 40,000.
Or four, well,
For a festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick a number.
and we have a major storm come through, and 4,000 people are knee-deep in, what was it?
Doo-doo.
Toro caca.
Total caca.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Hey, that brings it home. It's like real. Look, I'm a plumber. I know what I'm talking about. What happens when we have people knee deep in this and they remember it and go? So,
But you know what? He was right. He's more qualified than anybody else out there. No disrespect intended. He's more qualified than anybody else to address those issues.
He's, yes, a licensed plumber.
Yeah, I mean he's versed in wastewater treatment.
Right.
He's had a
Drainage.
master plumbers.
And there's another thing. He did a very good. He articulated at the very end in his closing, without mentioning his opponent's name, but you know what he was saying.
Yeah.
He said, the same issues were here 4 years ago.
Even 8 years ago.
Yeah, but here 4 years ago. If I had the voting block, like one of the candidates, and we all know out here, I mean, we look at the camera, you know, if you go look at the vote, it's live. Over there, you can go see the vote. I mean, Rodney Kendall and Bruce Pack and Angie Arp, I mean, they had a voting block.
Yep.
You know, whatever they wanted to do. And he said, if I had a voting block like one of the candidates, and I did not complete any of these things, I won't come back here and ask for your vote again. I wouldn't come, you know,
Yeah.
you remember that?
It was almost like a mic drop, you know,
Right.
like boom.
Yeah, you know the other thing that was really well said was the excuse me, the tie-in with the tourism, the businesses, and the local residents.
Yes.
I mean, you could visualize that spoke and how each one is interdependent on the other, and without one.
Without the businesses, you need the business to bring the visitors and the tourists. They need that. The visitors and the tourists bring tax revenue. The SPLOST comes in, and then that's there. And then the citizens that live in the city are the benefit of the services, and it's a circle.
Yeah.
It all has to work together.
Right.
Well, question to you.
So the separation of do we want visitors? Do we want the downtown? Or who, you know, it's a circle. Go ahead.
Going back to the kids and all that, with the elementary schools and the high school here, do they get some money from the city besides Fannin County, or is that all funded by Fannin County?
No, your school tax all goes through your property tax in the county.
Okay, so the city doesn't really, with motel tax or bedroom tax, or they don't contribute anything to the high school.
That's all school tax.
No, that's all. That's all. That's all.
Okay.
School board is its own tax.
Okay.
Or we need to get ready. Okay, because we got pooches there. I mean, I know, folks. I've got
Pooches to the left.
Yeah,
Pooches to the right.
Stand up, sit down,
down.
fight.
Sorry that all the people are in the picture. Now you chill over there. Yipping and woofing. Didn't like the last answer. Okay, we're gonna. All right, we gotta move along. We gotta move along. Next.
Well, we didn't talk anything about Angie, which is not fair. I mean, we focused on
okay,
Ken.
go. Well,
I mean, Angie's the incumbent, and she seemed a little. I don't know.
High pitched.
What's that?
Kind of high pitched. Like I think there was some stress.
Yeah. There was a lot of body language there that didn't look like she was comfortable.
Yeah,
And it was,
she was sort of speaking haltingly, like she wasn't, able
only
to get her
thing I
thoughts
figured
together.
out, I mean, sometimes sometimes I just say stuff. The only thing I figured out last night is what happened in the last 4 years is the past.
Yeah.
She put a swing set downtown, and she wants to open an indoor pool so seniors can jazzercise. That's the only thing I picked
indoor
up.
pool is kind of like, what?
I mean, what?
Really?
I heard
Did
that
you-
4 or 5. That was my takeaway from Angie's portion. Was Miss Harp's portion was that the indoor pool.
Yeah, the only thing is I couldn't get the visual of you showing up in the big trunks and the beach ball saying, is everybody,
No, the 2-piece.
Well, I mean,
cabana
it's
set.
so odd. It's almost, well, I understand swimming is a great exercise and all that, and
move
being
along.
able to do it.
Do you
but, yeah.
see the person that's
Yeah.
telling me all kinds of stuff over
No,
there?
I think the outdoor pool, and improving that whole recreational area around the city park is probably a much smarter route to travel.
We got post 4. Post 4. We had 2 no-shows, which
Yeah.
were interesting.
Post 4
Maybe
and 5.
we should talk about them. We had poor Jan Hackett was running around. Where
Okay,
are my other candidates? Where are my other candidates? And what she figured out was that
Did you move on without me?
Absolutely, they
Yeah,
saw
we
the
said
format.
4 and 5. We got to get there.
Okay.
They saw the format and said, "That's not for me." I'm
Next
outta
up,
here.
Nathan Fitz.
No,
against-
Robbie Cornelius. Was
Next up,
4th.
Robbie Cornelius, just for Bruce, whatever. Okay, Robbie Cornelius,
he's
next
right.
up.
Yeah.
Well, I go back to what Rick
Robbie
said.
Cornelius is
Yeah.
running against Mike Jacobs.
Yeah, didn't show.
Didn't show.
Then we went
Robbie
right.
did. Mike didn't.
Robbie Cornelius showed up, but
Yeah,
Mike
but
didn't.
then we went right to post 5. Nathan Fitz versus Stewart.
David Stewart.
David Stewart didn't
David
show.
Stewart didn't show. But how did you like Nathan's?
Nathan was great. I mean, he's so at ease. Yeah, but he's kind of been in the spotlight. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Robbie. Apparently, Robbie's got a very, very strong following with all the time that she spent at the tax office and in the public eye.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I
they're
think
both
Robbie.
they will be very well received in different ways.
Robbie
And-
did a good job, and Nathan. This is just a serious. Nathan wins on personality.
Yeah.
But
Break
no,
a leg.
no, right? He comes up and he said, "Everybody told me when I said I was going to run for office, break a leg, and here you go."
There
He
you
maybe
go.
has an advantage, I think, with personality, but I mean, his vision for the future, I think, is really solid.
No,
And
I was
dialed
getting
in.
ready to say
It
his
wasn't fluff.
actual. No.
Yeah.
His actual delivery on the issues were very articulate, and I understood. I felt like I understood what he wanted to do.
Well, he was spot on
Did
with
you
the
agree?
Yeah.
with the legal fees that have been spent.
Folks, I said we're having a party. They're everywhere.
Hey,
That's okay.
It's a party.
you asked.
We
and they
got to
did.
take a break. We got to get somebody else in. We're going to do the mayor candidates a little later in the show. You
Where's
guys
the
are not
B-block
going
here?
anywhere?
No, we're not.
No.
You're going to be around?
For a bit.
Okay, try to behave. We'll be right back, folks.